Alright, y'all. So this video is pretty much about like being DL. I'm gonna share my experiences with y'all and like some of my ideas on like how people perceive DL. So I can give some advice to y'all DL niggas, and then some insights to y'all niggas who can't understand DL niggas, right? So I knew that I was into dudes probably when I was like sophomore year of high school, but I didn't do anything about it until I was 21. What year of college was it? Don't matter. I was 21. Probably like I'd say, well, I don't know what y'all experiences were. It was a grinder hookup. From that, like when I originally started, I was just fucking dudes, right? I was still pursuing females more romantic because that was just what I was on. Now it's different. I can do both. Like I can pursue either one. I'm not pursuing females just because it's a lot easier with niggas. At least the fuck it is. Like all y'all know that. To get to the cookie for a female is just, it's how they raise, but it's that make it so hard. The dimes, that make it so hard. Just let me hit. Anyway. So yeah, with being DL. So just to clarify, like my elders, the majority of my family still does not know about me. But the people who I care about the most, who I love the most, I've told all of them. I told my closest friends, I've told my cousins, I've told them. And, even to tell them, it was a struggle. It was a struggle. It took me some months, to work up the courage to do it. But the thing that, really pushed me, I think, was, I was depressed for, months, like a while. To the point where I feel like I didn't think about killing myself because I would never take my own life, but I thought about dying every day. I thought about different ways of dying. I thought about getting shot in a drive-by. I thought about getting hit by cars, just random shit. Like my dreams would be on some crazy shit. And that shit would just eat away at me. Like it wasn't to the point where I didn't want to do nothing, but I didn't want to talk to nobody really, unless it was the people I just mentioned. I tried to think of all the reasons I was depressed. And, there was a lot of contributing factors that I came up with. School wasn't working out, money, looking for a job was kind of temperamental at that moment. And I was all that still don't seem like the crux of my problem. Cause eventually all those things got better, whether a little bit or a lot of it, but they got better. And I was still just fucking I just didn't want to live. So I didn't think it was because I was keeping this part of myself inside, but I started to consider that. And honestly, I didn't even really give it much thought. I was just at some point, after school, I just went over to my cousin's house and I was fuck it, you know what? I know she's not gonna judge me. I'm gonna tell her. I told her and she was like, oh, it's cool. She's like, oh, I'm bi too. And I was like, oh, that's right. Yeah, so I told her, is my situation a little bit different than some of y'all. It was a little easier for me to tell the people I love because I knew that they wouldn't judge me. So if you have one person or a couple of people who won't judge you, won't turn away from you, who won't condemn you just for a part of your character or who you are that's out of your control, it's best to start with them. And when it comes to telling the rest of my family, I don't really plan on telling them. I mean, I could tell my pops. My pops is cool. He would understand. He's the type, like, he don't judge nobody for nothing that they do because he's been through some shit. But my mother, on the other hand, is a different story. Like, she's, you know, very Christian, and she's very judgmental. She's very closed-minded. She's very... What else is she, bro? Is that it?
She's not open to new ideas or concepts.
So yeah, like closed-minded, judgmental, but there's something else. What was it? She's not good at positivity in general. Yeah,
she dwells on negative shit too much.
She likes to focus on the negatives rather than the positives. So telling her is a very different story. She's also very vocal about how much she dislikes gay people. So I'm not scared to tell her because me and my mother don't have the best relationship. And honestly, if it comes out, I don't really care. Because I've gotten to the point where I'd be angry if she feels like she can judge me for anything that I've done. Like, she's not the person for that. You don't get to judge me. As far as I'm concerned, the only person that gets to judge me for my actions and who I am is God. Nobody, not my family, not my grandfather, like nobody can judge me for that. If my actions, like, okay, let's get into religion, right? In the Bible it says that homosexuality is a sin, right? But there's also a verse in the Bible that says all sin is equal. So for your elders that try and throw homosexuality in your face is like, oh, you going to hell and all this other shit, remind them of that. From the first fib that they told, they were just as tainted as you. And then also with that, like, I'm a Christian myself, but I have questions in regards to Christianity. And there's nothing wrong with questioning God, in my opinion. Like, if you think about it from a biological perspective, there's a G spot in a man's asshole. Why would God make us that way? I mean, if it's just... I wouldn't like to think that God would just do that to be like, hey, fuck you, you can't use this. I mean, yeah, you can do that with females too, because they can, you know. But either way, when I found that out, I was like, really? Like, because like when I thought about guys bottoming, I was like, oh, that can't feel good. Like, and this was before I like even started contemplating fucking niggas. So when I thought about it, I was like, they really like that? Like, that's crazy. And then one of the homies told me, and he's straight too, but he let his girl eat him out. So I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, bro, it felt good. And I was like, not for me. But yeah, when it comes to religion, like that's my take on that. And now, let's see. Okay, yeah, for y'all that's like, I can't speak to anyone's specific situation because everybody's different. But like, think about it this way, right? Or okay, at least for me, the ultimate goal in my life is happiness. Whatever gets me there, and for me, what gets me there, like things I want most is love and wisdom, right? Those are the things that are gonna make me the happiest. But for some of y'all, it might be money. For others, it might be, family, whatever. But I feel like one of the main keys to being happy is being 100% yourself. If you have a piece of yourself that you hide from everyone, and you have to act like a completely different, well, not act like a completely different person, but you just have to act like, certain words don't affect you, or, just certain things your people say, and you have to act like those things don't affect you, like, that starts to eat away at you a little bit. At least that's what I feel like. When it comes to, like, my friend group, that wasn't an issue. Like all my people was pretty open minded. But yeah. And then when it comes to, for those of y'all who don't really understand how DL niggas work, for me it was a little bit different because I like to, like that, my philosophy of, you know, you need to be 100% yourself to be happy. Like I've had that for a while. Like even before I started fucking with niggas, it didn't really matter. Because like, you know, sometimes you have friend groups that you are only 70% yourself with, and then you got people you can only be 30% yourself, right? You feel me? Like, you know, those friends you only go to the movies with, or those friends you only go skating with, right? But you don't have a lot in common outside of that. That's what I mean. And I feel like that's also what you want in a relationship. So, for those of y'all trying to pursue a relationship with a DL nigga, until they're completely comfortable with themselves, it's gonna stress you out. I'm not gonna say it's not gonna work because you might be more patient than me, but I guarantee it's gonna stress you the fuck out. You're not gonna be able to show how much you care about this person. You're not gonna be able to tell them how you feel all the time because they just not ready for that. And I'm speaking from experience. That last video I posted, where bro, like he was really DL, and aside from his paranoia of people finding out, like when I was around his people, he was like a not completely different person, but he acted very differently, which is given. But while I was there, it was like, okay. But yeah, y'all trying to mess with DL dudes, be careful. And then when it comes to like understanding them, just keep in mind that everyone's comfortability level is also different. Like with me, when I was DL, I only recently started being open to like an emotional connection with a dude. That was like 2 months ago. Before that, it was just sex. I wouldn't even contemplate doing something like that with a nigga. And then let's see. Yeah, so they might not be open to like an emotional relationship. Don't let yourself get caught up on someone who's not ready for you. That's like the main idea here. Because you know, if you're giving more than they're giving back, like that's a bad sign in any relationship, regardless of what the issue is. And then for my nigga, yeah, I think I covered everything, right? I think I covered everything, bro. In terms of my things, we got it.